Breaking news this week, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer is stepping down from the court after being appointed to serve by Bill Clinton in 1994. Some are scolding Stephen for stepping down now, as a new voting bill threatens to make voting in the United States much more difficult for the general public. However, it is the opinion of this reporter that, although his timing may be poor, he is right for stepping down. At the risk of sounding ageist, Breyer is already 84 years old and has been serving on the Supreme Court for over 30 years. It's entirely possible that maybe it's just time for Breyer to retire. And with a Democrat in office, Stephen knows that the current balance of the Supreme Court will likely not change thanks to Joe Biden. And speaking of Joe Biden, this will be a huge opportunity for Biden, as whomever he elects to serve on the court will stay on the court long after his 2 terms are over. And with a 50-50 split in the Senate and Vice President Kamala Harris acting as a tiebreaker, Biden should have no problems electing whomever he pleases for the position. When asked to comment on the situation, Joe Biden promised reporters that he would stick to his campaign promise to increase diversity in the White House by nominating a black woman as the next Supreme Court justice. A huge move in the fight for diversity in the court, as so far only 4 of the 113 Supreme Court justice members have been women, and only 2 of those people have been people of color. Although nothing is set in stone yet, we already have a short list of candidates who are being considered for the position. For starters, we have Washington, D.C. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who has already been promoted by Biden to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, which, if you don't understand the significance of this, is the second most powerful federal court in the country. This means she's already been through several interviews with Biden to ensure her credibility and reliability, and she has a good rapport with the president. And she's made it through the Senate, making her a shoo-in for the position. Another choice is a North Carolina judge named J. Michelle Childs. Similar to Ketanji, Childs was also nominated by Biden to work within the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. However, her application is still pending. Something else significant about this candidate is the amount of time she spends working in the private courts. She has over a decade of experience, which will definitely make her a valuable asset to the Supreme Court. One more incredible candidate mentioned for the position is California Supreme Court Justice Leona Kruger. She clearly has the experience necessary as she's been on the California Supreme Court since 2014, and she's still relatively young, being only 45 years old. Electing her would really make Biden's choice a long-lasting one, since Supreme Court justices stay in the court for life, and she's still really young. And although this may make her seem like an incredible choice, she hasn't been subjected to a lot of the same interrogation that some of the other candidates have endured, making her at a disadvantage. And now, back to Allison with our next story.
My first story centers around former police officer Derek Chauvin and the 3 other officers who were on the scene with him during the murder of George Floyd. In the summer of 2020, George Floyd was detained by 4 police officers. Even though he was not resisting arrest, Chauvin used excessive force against him, and even took it as far as holding his knee on his neck as Floyd was face down on the ground. This continued for over 9 minutes as Floyd pled to be released and told officers he couldn't breathe, and this led to his death. Because of this, all 4 officers were fired, and Chauvin is now currently serving a 22.5-year prison sentence for the murder of Floyd. Some say he could be called to testify against his fellow officers, although experts say this will most likely not happen because, quote, the crimes that Chauvin pled guilty to are separate from the issues currently being presented, end quote. 2 of the former officers are being charged with not intervening against Chauvin while he was using excessive force, but all 3 officers are being charged with not providing medical aid to Floyd, a duty police officers have under law. It is interesting that only 2 of them are being charged with not intervening, which is why the over 9-minute video from eyewitnesses will be played in the courtroom as it was during the state trial. The proceedings in the court will not be televised because of the sensitivity of this video. The bigger picture here is that we have been seeing more accountability in police officers, which we hope should continue. In the end, we hope that all 3 of these officers are found guilty for the charges presented against them, and that they too will serve prison time for what happened that day. This will have a good and powerful impact on the community and provide some sense of justice as those who abuse their power are facing the consequences and getting the sentences they deserve.
In other news, tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to mount as Russia has placed an estimated 100,000 troops outside of the Ukrainian border. The nature of this dispute centers back to Russia trying to take back Ukraine in an attempt to regain all the countries that were once part of the Soviet Union over 30 years ago. Another major part of this dispute centers around the fact that Vladimir Putin has stated he will not allow the country to join NATO, otherwise known as the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is essentially a large military alliance dedicated to guaranteeing the freedom and security of its members through military action. As a direct result of the increased fears of an attack on the country, the United States Embassy has ordered all of its non-essential staff to leave the country as soon as possible. Moreover, the official travel advisory for Russia now warns citizens not to travel to Russia due to increased military action along the Ukrainian border. Despite all this, Moscow still claims that they are not planning to mount an attack, but I, for one, think that their intentions are obvious and an attack on Ukraine is imminent. Why else would the country place so many troops along the border if not for that purpose? In response to all this, Joe Biden has threatened to place extremely strict economic and financial sanctions on Russia if they invade Ukraine. But will this be enough? Personally, I think Joe Biden should place those restrictions on the country now and demand that troops be removed from the border in order for them to be lifted. This way, we can prevent the attack from ever happening in the first place, rather than punishing Russia after the fact. Another important thing to mention is that Joe Biden has also stated that he does not plan on utilizing any sort of military intervention, stating that intense diplomacy is a better path towards a solution. And I, for one, agree with that. Deploying troops in Ukraine could lead to an all-out war with Russia, and with the Russian military being as dangerous as it is, that would no doubt lead to the loss of thousands of U.S. soldiers, or even in World War III. Another reason to oppose this is that Joe Biden just pulled our troops out of Afghanistan, and I don't think the American people are eager to send more citizens to fight in a war that our country has no real reason to be in. In fact, it's like my old man always says, why would I want to save a grill that I have no stake in?
Our last main story is one local to us. Human remains that were found off of the Ortega Highway were finally tied to a cold case. Linda Louise LeBeau, maiden name Durnall, vanished from Tustin on October 6, 1977. The disappearance was immediately reported by her boyfriend. She was reportedly going to see her ex-husband on the day she was last seen. Witnesses reported seeing her at a Texaco gas station with a man they believed to be her ex. 3 days later, her car was found abandoned with all of her belongings inside. It wasn't until 1986 that the human remains, a partial skeleton, including a skull, were found near Lake Elsinore. Police did not draw a connection between the events because of the time that had passed. Only this past week, on Friday, January 21st, thanks to recent technological advancements, the remains were determined to be LeBeau, who was 27 when she disappeared. Last August, the cold case homicide team, which includes the Riverside County Coroner's Office, exhumed several skeletal remains from cold case files. The skull that was found in 1986 was among them, and it was sent to a Department of Justice lab for a possible DNA comparison. Riverside County Sheriff's investigators determined the victim had been shot in the head, but they couldn't identify the remains or any suspects in the apparent homicide. The main suspect happened to be her ex-husband, Philip LeBeau. He died in 2008, but even after Philip's death, Tustin police were still searching for answers. In 2013, a social media post in the department wrote, quote, "Tustin PD needs the public's help to find closure for the family and bring a suspect to justice," end quote. Sadly, this case will remain unsolved. However, other cases like this, such as the Zodiac Killer, were solved in the past year because of recent developments in technology and forensic research.
Picking it up from Allison, it is with a heavy heart that we mourn the loss of LA County firefighter Jonathan Flagler. The 47-year-old veteran fought his last fire at a house in Ranchos Palos Verdes around 2 a.m. on Thursday, January 6th. Flagler is said to have become incapacitated as the house quickly became engulfed in flames. He sustained serious injuries and was immediately rushed to Harbor UCLA Medical Center, where he later died. The Homicide Bureau, along with the arson investigators, are still investigating the cause of the fire. Flagler was known for his dedication and commitment to the fire service, but better known for his dedication to his family. Flagler leaves behind his wife and 2 sons, aged 13 and 15, who described their father as a constant jokester and a family man who spent as much time as possible with them. Matt Holzendorf, a fire department engineer, describes Flagler as a great firefighter, saying he always made the station life fun and he was a good person to be around. This incident shows the true danger first responders encounter every day and the bravery and courage they have to have in these positions. With the negative reception first responders receive nowadays, it is important to look at the sacrifice these men and women make to protect their communities and our homes. All of LA County and their fire family, along with the Flagler's hometown of San Clemente, will miss the hero who gave their life to protect others. His bravery will not be forgotten. Now, on to Isaiah for the next story.
Thank you, Maddox. Now I'm here with my leading Kanye expert, Maddox Hernandez. Kanye's new assault allegations. Let's talk about that. So Kanye has been going through what I would call a midlife crisis. Believe me, I've been there. And, I think you're, so to speak, an expert on this.
Indeed so.
And why don't you just tell us about that?
All right. So Kanye West is actually accused of battery for assaulting a fan in Los Angeles.
Been there.
Haven't we all? See, West was approached by a fan asking for an autograph outside of one of his studios in Los Angeles early Thursday morning. See, West was going through a tough moment in his life, and the fan said that everyone goes through tough moments. Kanye did not like this one bit, and he actually knocked out the fan with one punch.
Knocked out.
Knocked out clean.
Like Muhammad Ali.
Exactly.
Wow,
you could call him
that's
the
insane.
next. See, Kanye is facing battery charges that could get him up to a fine of $2,000 and even a 6-month prison sentence. Isn't that crazy?
I just can't believe it. Someone I've looked up to my whole life.
I know. I can't believe it either. See, in the video, there isn't actually footage of the assault, but there is proof of the fan on the floor just moments after it happened. Here is that video.
Wait for me. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Hey man, I'm protecting us now.
No, get away from me.
I'm protecting us now.
Give me your
Come
hand.
on.
I am your family.
Ain't no hand.
I am your family. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Ain't no hand. No, no. You were supposed to talk to her.
Why did he just do that?
No, you were supposed to talk
What
to
is
her.
wrong with him? Can you please call the cops?
We're back.
Oh, we're back.
We're back. Wow.
What an interesting video.
So I really just have to ask, why is Kanye acting out like this?
Well, Kanye's been going through a lot in the recent year. It's been all over the news, but him and Kim are going through a divorce.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And this divorce has actually caused Kim to start a new relationship.
Her and Pete Davidson, correct?
The comedian, Pete Davidson. They were actually seen on SNL together, kissing, which could be a factor into why Kanye was so emotional in this video.
That much coverage. I bet Kanye's probably feeling really intimidated right now.
Yeah, he actually just dropped a song the other day called Easy, where he kind of mentions a couple things about Pete Davidson and his ex-wife. So he
heard
mentions,
about
he actually bought the house next to Kim to be with the kids, but he even says that his kids are kind of bougie and unruly.
I heard he's very upset with his children as of recently, and how greedy they've become.
Exactly.
Living under his house, and he also states that he doesn't want to be at a negotiating table with Kim anymore when he is the table.
Exactly. And so he even mentions in the song how he would like to beat Pete Davidson's butt. So it kind of shows he truly has some, hard emotions about this situation.
Yeah, and we've seen this before. Kanye's always had some sort of anger issues.
Yeah.
He's always been having a. He's always been going through it.
He's a mixed character.
He is.
But you would think with one side, with Kim with Pete Davidson, that maybe Kanye would find something, and he actually has.
Yeah, him and Julia Fox, no?
Yeah, the actor Julia Fox.
And that begs the question: if he's throwing such a hissy fit, such a little cry match, why is he not happy with Julia Fox? And is he actually truly happy with her because he seems to be holding a grudge over Pete Davidson?
It seems like he still has some pent up emotions about his ex-wife and her boyfriend and even his kids. I don't know.
Yeah, and the whole song, including the cover of Easy, just the skinned monkey. It's brutal to look at, and I feel it really has to do with something about Kanye's true emotions about his life at the moment, and how he's just not happy about anything anymore.
Putting those two side to side, the picture, the cover, and that video, it kind of describes what he's going through right now. And it's tough to see someone go through this. Even if you don't like Ye as a person, you can still kind of understand what he's going through.
It's sad to see a man go down such a harsh downward spiral.
We can only hope that he gets better. He might have to pay the consequences for his actions, but he could become a better person in the long run. We never know.
Yeah. And everyone has a second chance for redemption.
Exactly.
And with that, we're off to our next segment with Roman Ball, Ghost Stories. Bye-bye.
I'm recording.
I'm Roman. I'm here with my two partners, Isaiah and Maddox. And it's time to do some ghost hunting.
It's only once in a lifetime that hunters such as ourselves are awarded with the opportunity to take on such a dangerous challenge. With over 20 acres of haunted grounds and an interior that's been untouched since '77, no other team has done what we plan to do. But first, we need to get some information on what's going on around these parts. Here we go.
I'm kind of spooked right now, to be honest, but I gotta scout it out to see what's going on, so keep you updated. I'm currently outside the naval base right now. It is that building right over there. All right, now I'm driving around the compound looking for a way in. It's looking pretty rough. It's surrounded by gates covered with barbed wire, so I'm gonna do a little loop-de-loop, see if I can find a point of entry here. All right, I think I have found my point of entry here. I've just been driving up and down the entirety of this fence, and oh yeah, here we go. So I'm at the, oh shit. Oh man, maybe not. I'm gonna keep looking. There's another fence inside this area, so I'm gonna keep looking.
Now that I've done some scouting, it's time to interview some locals.
All right, we are here with our first local. Sir, can I have your name, please?
Lou Johnson.
All
Lou
right.
Johnson.
And how long have you been around these parts, sir?
Well, I've been here my whole life, born and raised here.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I'm just a humble farmer living crop by crop, just getting the gritty nitty work, you know what I mean?
Appreciate that, sir. And what do you know about the mysteries surrounding this naval base, sir?
Mysteries? I don't know. There ain't no mysteries around here. Not none you should be speaking of.
The ghosts that people talk about.
No ghosts. No ghosts at all.
Are you sure, sir? We're just trying to get some information for our project that we're doing.
You want some advice, boy?
Please.
Go back in your car, turn the ignition on, get out of here, and pray it doesn't come from you. You hear? Go on now.
Got the cameras. Yeah. Alright, so we're pulling up to the lot right now. Is that a coyote in the trash can?
Something's in the trash can.
And it is weird. What is that over there?
It's a local.
Oh shit. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, do you think you can help? Oh!
Get over here.
Sir, do you know anything about the myths surrounding this area? Sir, please, I can't understand you.
Okay.
I think we should. I think we should just. I think we should go.
I think we go. I think we gotta go. Oh my god.
Dude,
oh my god.
go, drive, dude.
And just like that, we knew how we were gonna get in.
All right, guys, so I've returned to the compound. I'm with my fellow ghost hunting buddy, Isaiah. We're going to see whether or not we can explore this myth. We're right outside the compound right now. We're getting ready to break into the fence, so, it's going to be a good night of hunting. Forgot to mention we have Maddox with us as well, so we're gonna be breaking into this compound. Stay tuned. So we're walking up to the chain link fence here. As I said, I was circling the perimeter for about, half an hour when I was scouting earlier, and this is the only entrance I was able to find. It's mad sketchy. Watch your step. Oh God. Yeah, steep hill here. The farmers used to use this a lot to get their tractors up and down, but you never know with old world legend, right?
What barrack is this?
This is barrack A1. That's what I heard, the haunted section. You doing all right, Maddox?
Yep.
This is the first time that we've actually been down to the building compound, so we're gonna go ahead and take a little lap around it real quick, see what I can see.
Looks like the first time this place has been seen since like 1970.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You catching this?
My God.
Have they done this during like a day?
I wish. I didn't start getting in here. Come on. Let's look if we can see any windows or something. What's your step? Old farming equipment here.
Looks like whatever happened, they just left in a hurry.
Yeah. Completely overgrown and torn down back here. Nothing but wilderness and desert out here. You seen all this, man?
Yeah, man. This is crazy.
I'm not seeing any stuff in front of me. It's all boarded up.
Place looks like they haven't been touched in years.
Ooh. Even the power's gone. Completely gutted. Man, it is cold out here though. Watch your step. Lots of rubble around here.
Where if the homeless ever come around?
Oh, for sure.
What do you guys hear that? It sounds like that fucking... It sounds like that homeless dude. Oh my God, dude. Dude, what? Dude, what?
What is he doing?
I know, man.
Where'd he go?
No, don't. He's crazy. Dude, I'm not liking this, dude. This is too much.
We're already here, though. We gotta go inside.
Hey, did you see where this guy was freaking chilling though? I think this might be like his home base or something.
Looks like someone's been living in here. Is that a gas man?
What is this?
Oh, dude.
Let's not.
Let's not go near that. That's gotta be sharp. Dude. What is this?
I'm not liking this.
I'm not liking this one bit. And this isn't even the main show.
You don't make the videos and enter for this crap?
I think we're ready to start exploring the main building. Oh my God.
Who goes up first?
Let's go.
Let's go.
ask you guys out.
Look.
Oh God. Dude. Isaiah? Dude, did you hear that, Roman? Dude, did you? Roman?
Who's in town? Sasquatch in town!
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. I'm hoping you enjoyed that video that you just saw up on the board there. Yeah, I had a lot of fun recording it. It was a blast getting together with guys to, make something fun like that. But there is a purpose to it other than it just being a funny video. I wanted to kind of come out here and talk to you guys, especially about media literacy. I know this is a topic that Love and Good has gone over with us a lot in class, and I just think that it's super important. So when we were starting out this video, the original idea was to go to like Hawthorne Mall or something, the abandoned mall up in LA, and that didn't work out. So we thought, why not go to the naval base in Lake Elsinore? Turns out there's no way for us to get into the naval base without breaking and entering. So we ended up just going to an abandoned little warehouse that's out in the Doonies instead, because it was less ghetto. But I just wanted to talk about, how easy it is to fake stuff on the internet. Our video is actually based off of a semi-famous series by BuzzFeed called BuzzFeed Unsolved, where they go and do all these like cryptic, mystery discoveries. And, wild enough to think that some people semi-believe that, and whatever your beliefs may be in the superstitious and whatnot, it's definitely important that you do your research and check on whatever you're getting into, whatever it may be. Because nowadays, I think, especially within our generation, we see so many people getting an article, taking it at face value, and then not digging any deeper to see if there's, sources that discount it, evidence leading against it. Even right now, we have people taking a good hard look at, the COVID vaccine, for example, and saying, I would rather have COVID than have this vaccine. I think it's more dangerous, stuff like that. Obviously there's other reasons that people aren't getting the vaccines, but anyways, I'm rambling. I just wanted to say how important it is that we make sure that we're keeping vigilant when we're looking at, online sources, because it's so easy, especially nowadays with so much social media, to get misled and to be mistrusted. And we just got to know that, the internet isn't the real world. People are going to have atrocious takes online that do not in any way reflect how things work in the real world. So just make sure that, we can be using social media, but there's a lot of fake stuff on there. All right. Thanks. See you guys.